Finale time.
Yay! Okay, what do you want to start with, David?
1 second. Let me boost your audio a couple bits.
All right. So I guess we kind of started with the Atom shit, right? If I'm remembering correctly, the order of events.
Yeah, we started with the Atom. The Atom bit.
One thing I did find weird last episode that I think I kind of mentioned it, but I didn't mention it enough, is that how easily Blake kind of quote unquote took out Atom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Last episode that was weird, right? Like, because it was implied in Volume 3 that like he got fucking rocked. You know, like her and Yang got fucking rocked. And then this one, it's just like one casual dodge.
One casual dodge and a people's elbow.
Right. but then they doubled back on it, and then they were like, when Sun was like, we can take him, she's like, no, we can't. I was like, okay, so you're still making him powerful. What?
Is he weak? Is he powerful? Is he just a bitch? Well, he is a basic bitch.
What you're telling, it's like, Rooster Teeth, what you're telling us is not lining up with what you're showing us here.
Exactly.
Like, no, like, when she's like, no, we can't take him, he'd pick us off. Like, okay, I guess maybe she meant that, like, he would kind of, like, play the stealth game and, like draw them into the woods and, like, pick them off one by one, maybe?
Maybe, because we saw him hiding in the tree at the end, but we'll get to that in a minute.
I gotta say, too, it's just a small thing. I did enjoy the scene where he actually... Because, obviously, we've seen him, like, rocket his sword out of his sheath before.
Yeah.
But, was it confirmed that... it's been a long time since I've seen the Black trailer, so forgive me. Was his sheath... Like, did we know his sheath was a gun?
I do not think so. I would have to actually go back and watch that trailer as well. But
That's
I do not
cool.
believe it's ever been confirmed until now.
That makes sense. And please, if we're being retarded right now, I apologize. Please, like, say in the comments, I'm sorry if we're idiots here. What was I going to say?
It kind of makes sense.
Oh, it makes total sense. I'm just saying, if this was shown and we forgot, apologies. No, that makes a lot of sense. But no, I just love the scene where he has the
one gun
pointed
aimed one way,
and the
sword pointed the other way.
That was pretty badass, I gotta say. Like, it was basically like a come at me, I'll fight both you fucks at once. And I wish, I was like, just have a fight, please. So bad.
One more decent fight. Get my dick a little wet here.
They couldn't give us that. You had a couple, like, shots here and there. So you had, obviously you had, like, Hazel and Leo. You want to just jump right to Leo's gruesome death? I assume it's gruesome. It sounded gruesome.
It sounded very tentacly.
It sounded no.
I've seen enough hentai to know where this is going. Memes will be all over.
It looked tentacly. It sounded meat cleavery. Like, it sounded like she was chopping him into pieces to me.
Yeah, it is. Oh God. Flash forward to Volume 6. There's a dismembered body of Leo. Ugh.
I doubt we'll ever see him again.
Oh no,
unless
hell no.
It's like a fucking half grim zombie that she, like, necromances.
Okay. I want to know what the deal is with these orbs. Is this like some part of her semblance? Is this some sort of like fucking power? Is it her weapon? What the fuck are they? Like, it's so weird.
I think it was implied that she was Didn't someone call her the Queen of Grim?
Yeah, I'm assuming there's some form of grim weapon that she's created. It's just fucking weird. Like, there's so much with Salem that needs to be explained, other than
Leo's character, yeah. Also,
other than a giant fucking projection of her in the middle of an academy.
Yeah, that was okay. I gotta admit, no matter how many times Emerald is in I forget about her fucking semblance. I gotta admit, well, no, I did know that, obviously, like, the Cinder illusion was obvious. This one, I did not realize it was illusion, I gotta be honest.
Yeah.
I was like, damn! That was actually because I was watching this in my car in the parking lot with my headphones on. So headphones on, and also because it was so bright out, I literally had my head under my hoodie. So it was like I was really immersed in it. Like I was like
somebody could have came up to your car. Yeah, he's watching porn.
Yeah. But that actually kind of like, I got to be honest, that scene that was pretty freaky. That gave me
that one actually got me. Props to the animation on that.
I was like, what the fuck's happening? Because at first I was like, can she teleport places? Because I could see it.
Yeah, I mean they're trying to make her like Eisen like here. So I mean, fucking, I'm there. Fuck shit up.
Another thing to talk about is
okay. Before we go any further, where's the scene that made Lindsay vomit? Because it certainly wasn't this fucking volume.
There was an I almost said hot topic. There was an off topic where she talked about. This is why it confuses me, right? There was an off topic where have you seen the off topic where she talks about it yet?
No, I'm at 90 right now.
I don't remember which one. There's an off topic. It's one of the recent ones where she actually literally comes back from like she was like, it was the day she puked. She was talking about it, right?
Yeah.
And she said in that off topic that they were filming that it wasn't an emotional scene. Like she the way she referenced it, it was like it was an action scene. Like she said we were filming high octane action stuff, and I was like, where was that?
Well, here's where it is. It's on the cutting room floor. Or maybe they've already started animating Volume 6.
I don't because I think, I gotta be honest, I think Lindsay clickbaited that tweet a bit, because from what I've understood, it seems like it was more of a heat stroke thing than like an actual what she's doing thing.
Yeah, I mean, in Austin, I can see that being the case.
Mm-hmm. Who knows? Either way, fucking whatever. RWBY, really though, again, I thought it was bad in Volume 4. What the fuck did RWBY do this volume? Really, what did she do?
One really good line in a action pose.
Okay, so she had her, like, the shit I remember from RWBY this volume, because I was actually thinking about this. I remember her talk with Oscar.
Which was adorable.
Her keep moving forward drop. That was cool. There was a cool setup for a sister fight. And then I even thought, I don't even know why I fucking hope anymore. When they were standing Hazel, Emerald, Mercury, Yang, Blake, RWBY, I was like, here we go. Here's the old school team battles of the past. Here it comes. I was so ready for that shit. I was like, oh, maybe it's the finale. Maybe they'll give us a good team battle. Nope.
We got them basically starting to surrender, and then projection, and they're bailing. I'm like, fuck.
Well, I mean, it's understandable that they bail. Cinder got fucked. But I mean,
R.I.P. Jessica Negri's voice acting career. Hopefully.
I still don't believe she's dead.
I don't either. I really don't either. They wouldn't be hyping this documentary either. Which is my #1 targeted ad right now, which annoys the fuck out of me.
There's a documentary? What?
The RT doc. Becoming Jessica Negri.
Sorry, my parents are leaving.
So yeah, that's my #1 targeted ad right now, because I visit the Rooster Teeth site a lot, and they're like, oh, you visit here. Here's this big thing that they're hyping. And I'm like, fuck.
What is it about?
I have absolutely no idea, and I have absolutely no desire to watch it. I really don't.
How does it relate to... I'm just confused why you brought it up. We were talking about Jessica Green. If Cinder was dead, and then you brought that up. Like, it related.
I'm assuming that they wrote her off so they could hype that, possibly. I don't know what's going on. But
is she part of it?
Yeah, it's all about her and her cosplay and all that shit.
Like, I know nothing. I have not even heard about it. I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Okay, so I'll live edit it in, because it's on my phone. So let me send this to myself. But anyway.
It's like, how does this relate to Jessica Negri or Cinder?
Okay, because it's her documentary. So I figured that's why they're hyping it to high hell. Because now Cinder's dead. I don't know, but it's my number one targeted ad right now, and it annoys the hell out of me. Because I see it everywhere. It's on Facebook. It's on any website I visit. This is why I actually...
So that proves the ads are targeted. I haven't fucking heard of this.
Yeah. Screenshots. Because I actually screenshotted it. Dude. But anyway, moving along while I actually find the screenshot and send it and live edit it in. So, Raven's little bit of a redemption.
Becoming Jessica Negri. What?
Yup.
Oh my gosh, what? What are you becoming Jessica Negri? What the fuck kind of title is that?
Right, it's a horrible name for anything if they want to hype her.
I totally want to know how she became her.
Exactly. How did I become the person I was named?
I have nothing against her. I know you actually do. I don't give a fuck. Even with my neutral stance, I don't care. I'm like, okay.
But yeah.
What does she even do? Like, what does she do? Is she just a cosplay person? Is that
She's a cosplayer. She's a voice actress. She's apparently permanently employed at Rooster Teeth, judging by this. But anyway, yeah. Welcome to the world of targeted ads. It's fucking everywhere for me.
Here's something I wanted to discuss as well. I have some theory. Okay. Number one. So here's something that went through my head at first. When Emerald was doing that thing where she like zoomed in on her face, she was crying. Remember that scene?
Yep.
It was right before the illusion happened, right?
Yep.
You want to know what went through my head because they were like doing the intense shit? What went through my head? I was like, holy shit. Cinder just died. Potentially her last thoughts may have been of Emerald.
Did you see her eyes?
Did they go? They didn't look like they went. I don't think they saw anything.
That was my hyper-focused on her eyes.
Which is why I assume that's what they were going with. And that would be fucking awesome. I love Emerald character.
Exactly.
That'd be amazing if Emerald became the fucking... Oh, can you imagine the maiden powers mixed with her illusions? She'd be fucking unstoppable.
Yep.
She'd be a new Aizen. There's your fucking Aizen.
There is your Aizen. Fucking hell, yeah. Oh my god.
But I guess, speaking of Emerald, though, one thing I did want to discuss was I don't understand her connection with Cinder and why she cares so much. Like, again, it's a show not tell thing, right? Or it's a tell not show. Excuse me. They're telling us, but we have that one episode. By the way, one of my favorite episodes of Volume 3 because we actually get some backstory. We have the thing where like she seemed to be like a petty thief. Cinder picked her up. That's all we know about their relationship. Right?
Yeah.
Am I right in that? You remember that episode? So there's something missing there because Emerald consistently in these last couple episodes has been like, I do it for Cinder. Cinder this, Cinder that. She's like fucking really, really, really like devoted to Cinder. And I'm like, okay, I can believe that, but why? Because all we ever see is Cinder kind of just treating... We've never seen a scene of Cinder, actually like showing... Have we ever seen a scene of like Cinder like seeming to care about them or like be like, oh no, Emerald, or actually like treating her like a friend ever?
No, we really haven't seen anything like that. That's why I'm like, okay, there's more to the story they need to explain.
Well, there would have been plenty of times to actually show, and that would have been a lot more heartfelt if they actually had scenes with Cinder and Emerald potentially bonding and like actually like, and also that would humanize Cinder as a villain more to show that Cinder isn't just a bitch to everyone. She's actually like think Corollo style Hunter x Hunter, a villain that actually like cares for their people.
Exactly. That's one of the things that's bothered me this entire volume. Is they've basically tried to humanize Cinder by these emotions that Emerald and Mercury are feeling, but yeah, we can't really humanize somebody that we haven't shown have a human fucking side. It's so weird how they tried to basically force us to care about Cinder as a person, where we really don't know enough about Cinder aside from her picking her team, to give a fuck about her.
Mm-hmm. And she didn't seem like even in that Volume 3 episode, she didn't seem to like pick Emerald because liked her. It seemed to be like, oh, I saw that ability that you did. That's a nice ability. Work for me.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I can use you.
And then with Mercury, it was like, hey, we came to get your dad. You killed your dad. I guess we'll take you dead. Like, there's really not a lot of bond. I almost said bondage. There's really not a lot of bonding there.
There really isn't. There's no bonding in any of the villains' teams, really. And if you want us to have a believable villain, you gotta at least show some human side to them. That's why I like Emerald and Mercury more than I do fucking Cinder or Salem. You know, it's because they've shown some human emotion. They've shown that they care about people, even if they don't give a fuck about them.
Mm-hmm.
Because Mercury, especially this episode, showed that he gave a fuck about Emerald. Emerald shows that she cares about Cinder, even though Cinder clearly doesn't give a fuck about her, as far as we know.
Yeah.
That makes him more believable.
Mm-hmm. And I hope we see more with Mercury and Emerald, because they were characters. They give me that early RWBY vibe, and let's be honest here, I don't think it's any competition. I wonder if we could find anyone that thinks RWBY is better now than it was.
Aside from trolling comments in groups like RWBY Republic, not really. I haven't seen anything.
So I mean, that's why I hope that you get a bit more from them, because I like them. And honestly, if Emerald became the new Cinder type, but like actually like kept her personality and shit, and like what made her humanized, if Emerald was the new, like that'd be funny if like writing style wise, like what if it's a combination of like Jessica Nigri wants to move on to other thing, mixed with a lot of people hate Cinder, equals let's kill Cinder and make Emerald the new maiden.
I'd love it.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
I'm assuming another reason why they've presumably killed off Cinder is they probably are going to give Jessica Nigri a voice role in one of these new shows that they teased at the end of the episode as well.
Can I bring up something? just as a funny little aside to me, do you want to know what my two least favorite genres are? Westerns and mech stuff.
So you don't give a fuck about either of these new shows?
I want to, though. Okay, well, the one I hear is going to be heavily Samurai Jack influenced.
Exactly.
So I think I'll give that one a shot. The Wandering blah 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 blah, whatever the fuck it's called. Nomad of Nowhere or whatever. Yeah.
So you'll give that a shot, but fuck the.
I hate mech. Mech shit bores me to death. Fucking roast me. I don't even care.
I happen to like mechs, so
that's fine, man. Hey, I'm not dissing you for your opinion. I'm totally aware that I'm in the minority there. I am totally aware of that.
So that will be something I actually binge watch.
Well, I know Andrew will too. I love that probably. I guess I've said this before. I'll do it, so I'll say it real quick. My thing with mechs is that it takes away the personal element of the fight. So like fights are interesting when it's like do or die. You're fighting with your own flesh and blood, and any mistake can be life or death. You know what I mean? When you're in a giant robot suit, it's kind of like this is all fluff. None of this matters until you're actually up in someone's face, killing them. You're not losing lives. Your lives are on at stake. Money.
Yeah, it's
that's my issue with it. I have a big emotion mech fights.
Yeah. That's what really, I get that opinion a lot from people that hate it, so I'm like, I can see your argument, but at the same time, I really enjoy the genre, because I love fucking robots, I love watching them beat the shit out of each other, and I actually enjoy the psychological aspect that goes into a lot of it, because, especially Gundam, there's a lot of psychological shit that goes into it.
David Buchanan, 2018, I love fucking robots.
Well, they seem to be the trend now.
I was gonna say you got a head start on that one. 22. You're gonna be a pioneer in the sex bot industry.
I think Noble's got me beat in one area of that though.
Good God. Not even gonna mention that one. So other things to bring up. So we already brought up. I guess I mentioned it, but I'm curious about your any more thoughts on Leo's character as a whole. He's basically dead now. He was kind of a pointless character.
He was beyond pointless.
I mean,
I get he's a headmaster. Cool. You know, make him interesting.
Yeah,
he's got a Captain America shield that shoots fucking meteors. That could have been really cool.
Yeah, but the weird thing is, I just expected a lot more from his character. Like, he didn't even have like, and it's okay because it like breaks the stereotype, I guess. But like, I was shocked that he didn't have like a character redeeming moment or anything. I was like, he went out like a bitch, like, and I was like, oh wow, he's just gonna go out like a bitch. Interesting.
Not only did he go out a bitch, he went out like a bitch, groveling, fucking pleading.
He also couldn't pick his side either. He was like begging, then he tried to attack the thing, and then he was like back to begging.
No, please don't hurt me. No, fuck you. No, please don't hurt me. What the fuck? I gotta
say, Salem again. I'm not a huge fan of Salem, but I did love her really casual delivery of like Howard.
She's just sitting there on her throne, looking through the one orb, while she's assumedly dismembering his fucking corpse. All fucking, like the Evil Within style. Just fucking...
Because that delivery of the way she said coward was, like, really actually genuine. Like, she was, like, legitimately, like, just, like, almost just disappointed in him. Like, oh, fucking gosh, this guy. Like, I felt her disappointment. Oh,
yeah, that was the one moment I actually kind of genuinely laughed at Salem as a character. Like,
yeah. Coward, as she literally fucking, like, what's like a horror movie villain that, like, literally chops up their body, victim bodies? That has to be a thing.
I would say, like, Leatherface, but she's not using chainsaws.
Dude, someone needs to fucking edit his chainsaw noises.
Send us those clips. We'll use them for a fan compilation eventually.
Yeah, sure.
We'll get Dylan Good on that shit.
Dylan Good. Fuck yeah.
Oh.
I'm hopefully in the next Patreon stream. He did say he'd react to that fight.
I want that reaction, dude. Send me that.
I want him to analyze, because like honestly, I've watched it again since then. There are parts that are obviously lazy, and there are parts that are really good, right? So like, just quickly assiding the last week's fight, there are the parts, and they do this a lot to like make it look impressive with not really doing a lot of much. There's a lot of those parts where they're kind of like I think like Dragon Ball Z style, where they just kind of like they're swooping around so fast that there's nothing even happening. It's just kind of like blurs just to show how fast they are.
Yeah, I mean Bleach had that too.
Oh, I'm not, dude. I don't think Bleach is like Bleach is. Meh. It had a good concept, and you know it's nostalgic value to me. But no, I guess the part that I'm thinking, there's a part in the beginning of that fight, and I could just see, I just imagine that Dylan Gu, if he is gonna analyze this fight, I feel like he will comment on this part. But there's a part at the beginning of that fight where like they're doing that thing where like they're like doing like Dragon Ball Z style, like swinging so fast that it's just a blur, and they're just kind of like moving different places, like zing 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 zing. It's like that part was but like the fucking falling rock part was glorious.
The falling rock, and then the giant fucking maiden swords. They're like, I watched the Ruby crack, and then the fucking Star Wars music. I'm just like, yes.
No, that was good. Yeah, no, I was just saying if he was to find a flaw, it would probably be that scene.
Oh yeah, because that's beyond lazy. That's just them moving motion blurs. It's very simple animation.
Yeah, there was actually a lot of that in the Crow Winter fight. If you go back and watch Crow Winter, a lot of that was that. Yeah, where they would just kind of warp around. I have a feeling Crow Winter was not. None of that was done by Monty.
Oh,
actually,
probably.
I know. In fact, I know none of it was done by Monty because Winter was supposed to be based off of his fiance. Oh. True. It's sad but true. We know this.
Yeah. So, moving along from.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that too awkward? I thought we.
No.
Verbatim.
No, I mean we all know that it was based on Monty's fiance and that got fucked and that's bullshit. But there's one thing I really want to touch on, and it's the scene in the fucking vault. Where
oh yeah, Yang talking to Raven, that was some good shit actually. A lot of good character stuff in that.
Yeah,
I enjoyed.
Her entire speech to her mother was fucking glorious.
I
Oh,
like that she was kind of like, you can't have it both ways. Like, what are you? Are you merciful or are you a survivor? You can't have it both ways.
exactly. That's
Like,
been
are
my
you?
major issue with fucking Raven is she is all over the fucking place.
And that's okay because that if it's a purposeful character flaw, that's good writing. That's a character
But
flaw.
it doesn't seem purposeful either. It just seems like they're trying to write it to make it look purposeful.
Well,
It's
I think that Yang pointing it out kind of proves that
yeah.
it is purposeful. Trying to think of the exact lines that she said. Can you remind me some of the lines again? Because I do remember there were a lot of good ones.
There was you you can't have it both ways. Are you merciful or are you a survivor? Are you the entire speech where is the true Raven or did you kill her too? That was what got me.
Oh,
Because
oh, oh! The true, yeah. Who was the last Spring Maiden? Yeah, yeah. Basically implying that like found the actual like previous Spring Maiden, tried to train her. She was too weak, and that's sad too because I can totally visualize that, like someone that just got the powers thrust upon them. Because remember that shit's just either random or whoever someone was thinking about. So I can imagine this girl with like ungodly power, but she's like either super pacifist or doesn't like fighting, or just not it's not in her, right? Can you imagine?
exactly.
I
So
can just visualize Raven getting like really frustrated, and that means at some point she literally mercy killed this girl. She like old yellered her, like, and justified it in her head as, "Oh, I'm killing her so she's not hunted by Salem for the rest of her life, and then I'll take the power." Mwahaha. Yeah.
yeah, the inner justification of all of this shit that Raven does is what really annoys the hell out of me. But it makes sense in
So as
her.
a character, if it's purposeful, it's good, and I think it's purposeful for Raven because she's very clearly getting called out for being hypocritical by Yang.
Yeah, it's here's the thing. If a character causes this much suffering, the fact that she got called out was what was the most beautiful thing. But at the same time, I can't like Raven because
You
she
don't have to
is.
like Raven. Well, here's the thing: do you like villains? Are you able to like villains?
Oh yeah, I fucking love villains. I love anti-heroes, and that's kind of what they're trying to
So,
make her, from a villain to
so
kind of an anti-hero here in this
I
one
gotta be
speech.
honest, David. Like as of late, RWBY hasn't been very good at characterizing and making people feel real, but Raven honestly feels one of the most real characters in this show. Because guess what? There are hypocritical assholes like that in real life.
Oh
So
yeah,
it actually works.
it works, but it seems like they forced the change from previous volumes to make her this way. That's
No, she was totally this way, bro.
she's
You,
been a bitch. We've known she's been a bitch, and
because immediately we already knew she abandoned Ty, and then
exactly.
volume 2, she literally like saves Riang and does the fucking like
You
Spider-Man
got
from Family. She does
yeah,
the Family Guy Spider-Man thing, where
you
it's
got,
like everyone you get one.
exactly.
Like,
That's what I liked
yeah.
I liked her more as the shallow bitch that never did anything, but still tried to be purposeful and do something good for her family. But now they've made her into this almost like fucking conflicted, and I call me out on this in the comments, but she seems like a conflicted cunt.
Listen, man, like this is one thing that I think that we will disagree on because I think that again, like you can hate a character, but like there's two different kinds of definition of hating a character, right? Like let's talk. I'm trying to think of a good example. So like a character, like okay, if you hate a character the way they're written, that's like they're badly written. They're a character because they're written badly. That's that kind of hate. Or you can hate a character like Akainu from One Piece. You know, he fucking killed Ace, right?
Yeah,
You don't hate him because he's a bad character. You hate him because he's an asshole. That's good hate. That's the hate that you're supposed to have, right? So I guess I'm
exactly.
trying to figure out where you are on that spectrum. You hate her because you think she's a badly written character, or you hate her because she's a bitch. Because if you hate her because she's a bitch, that's actually probably what the writers are going for.
Yeah, it's the shift in the character tone from early RWBY to now. How they've
this
changed it.
shift you're mentioning doesn't exist, man. We saw her in like one fucking scene.
But
like,
that writing of her just being the shallow bitch made her believable to me. Now them trying to flesh her out as quickly as they fleshed her out seems forced. Now, if we get more on Raven in Volume 6, like how she led down this path, and more of like, okay, this is what led her.
That goes without saying. We need backstories for fucking everyone. They seem like they don't want to do any backstories. They haven't done a backstory since the Volume 3 episode, which, let me remind you, like one of the best episodes.
Exactly. Volume. I want to know what led Raven to be this conflicted cunt, as I'm calling her. What choices led her down this path?
It'll be a real good reason. Now I had a couple like thoughts. I was like, who do you think the original Spring Maiden that she took in and killed was? Do you think that's someone we know? Like, do you think they're gonna pull like it was Ruby's mother, or that she killed Ruby's mother?
I figure that, and this seems very, very generic, but I figure that Ruby's mother was the Summer Maiden.
Because her name's Summer?
Mm-hmm.
And Oz just cut to Osmond like, ha ha, irony.
Yeah, I mean, let's be realistic here. That would make the most sense because they've led that out. Like, oh yeah, she's Summer. We're just basic bitches here. But I mean, I could be completely wrong. She could have been the Spring Maiden. We don't.
I hope not. I hope that she wasn't a maiden at all, because it would already be fucking ridiculous if Yang and Ruby's mother were both maiden.
Yeah, I know, right?
Here's the thing: you can make Summer Rose important without her being a maiden.
Exactly.
Maybe, yeah,
she could have been the one that took the fucking fall for protecting everybody, you know?
There's so many things she can do without being a fucking maiden.
Exactly. She could have saved the fucking school the first time the fucking Salem attack, because we clearly had Salem attack before, because we've already know from Osmond's speech that he's fucked up and tried to face her before.
Hold on, I'm looking up a picture of Summer Rose again.
She looks like an older Ruby, literally.
Fucking waifu, yes please. Yes, please.
Like,
she's so cute.
She's so cute and small.
It's perfect because Ruby is like top waifu and she's like older Ruby, so I can feel less weird about it. Dude, that's the struggle. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from there.
When you watch Gurren Lagann and they say that Yoko is 14,
I'm like, I feel weird now.
That's ridiculous. I hate that shit.
There is no way Yoko's 14. But moving on.
Lies. No, but Summer had silver eyes too. Yeah.
That's what's been implied. We don't know. We don't know Jack fucking Dick about Summer. We don't really know Jack fucking Dick about Raven. We don't know Jack fucking Dick about any of these fucking characters. That's what annoys the ever-loving fuck out of me.
Well, David, I'm about to send you a picture. We've seen like Team. It was Stark.
Yes.
We've seen their photo. This is Summer. She's got silver eyes. I sent it to you on Facebook.
Okay, I'll live edit it in.
Oh, she's so cute. Want hug. Want to hug.
She was infinite protect status till she died or disappeared. We don't really know that either.
Let's be honest here. Wait, I always forget the order of events. Ty, which one was his wife first? How did it work again? Was it Summer, then Summer died, then Raven ran away, or was it Raven ran away, Summer, then Summer died?
It would make sense for Raven because Yang's the oldest.
Hold on, let me go to Ty's Wikipedia page. Who did he marry first? Because I gotta be honest here, if I'm just going off of pure picture status alone, we already know Raven, massive bitch. Summer looks
wholesome and nice and not like a massive cunt.
It looks like they're trying to make her like Ruby because she looks literally like Ruby. I imagine, unless they actually decide to go like, oh no. I looked up Summer Rose and like, I just saw one of those pictures. You know, people that fucking think that Crow is Ruby's dad.
Listen, it's never gonna happen. Shut your fucking faces.
Did you live edit Summer Rose up?
Oh, I did already.
Okay. She's cute. I love that fucking like red hair, tinted black hair. Like if I was a girl, I would do that shit. I might even do that as a guy. I don't know. Do you think I'd pull that off?
Yeah, you could pull it off.
Oh, it's so cool. I like it. It's like the same thing with like Deku in My Hero Academia has like somehow it's his hair is green when it hits the light and completely black when it doesn't.
So check a ragtag.
Check the ragtag.
This has absolutely nothing to do with what we're talking about, but I just find this picture absolutely hilarious.
Okay, I don't want to distract from the video too badly, so we can discuss that later.
Yeah.
So what were we just? Oh yeah, Summer, right? So Summer, waifu status, protect, and until we inevitably find out that she was super badass. Dude, like I want to know what Summer's weapon was.
Well, we already kind of got a hint that it was fucking insane.
It?
You know.
When?
Look close at the fucking picture from Team Stark.
It's just like a hood.
Okay. Maybe.
Hold on. David, are you coming up with shit again?
Zoom and enhance. And we've also had hints that she is actually fucking crazy overpowered. So I'm assuming if she's crazy overpowered here.
Where's this hint?
Listen to Crow's shit. Listen to Crow's speeches and about her, and listen to Tai Yang's speech at the end of Volume 3. That's all we've really got on fucking how insanely.
Because I'm looking at her full profile in the Stark. They very clearly like they put her in that fucking like hood to like really obscure her design. Like you
exactly.
Don't see her at
But
all.
the hints have come from the speeches that we've had from the parental figures.
Wearing, and then Raven Crow.
But look really close at that, and you can see almost potentially the outline of a weapon that's kind of there, but
like
don't
under
really
her
know.
Cloak.
Under the cloak, concealed.
Grasp at those straws, David.
I'm going to grasp at those straws until we actually know fucking backstory here.
Fair enough. I'm going to the Wikipedia page to see what they got. Sorry, Anything interesting? Members. Summer Rose. Oh, she was the leader?
Mm-hmm. Well, it makes sense. S.
Fair enough.
Stark. I mean, that's what we've got for the defining factor here is like Juniper, John's the leader, even though he's the fucking weakest member of the fucking team. We got Ruby.
He does have
Ruby.
silver eye. So if she has silver eyes, she probably had the same fucking power then. And did they say that? They might have said something about her mom having that too in Volume 3. It's been too long since Volume 3 was the thing.
Exactly. There's been so many plot threads that they need to fucking tie up. It's annoying me. And that's been my major dilemma with, and distracting from this while you read that, that's been my major dilemma with the whole, like, potential hiatus status or cancellation of Dragon Ball Super. Like, you don't end a series with that many plot threads, and that seems like... It's just like, we're gonna have this shit again.
Summer is believed to have died prior to the start of the series, possibly during her final mission. According to Yang, Summer was a highly skilled huntress. Yang also reveals that she was part of Team Stark alongside blah, 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 blah. Yang describes Summer as a super mom, still fondly remembers her cookie. Let's see here. Personality. Yang describes Summer as, at best as an attentive mother to both her and Ruby, despite Yang acknowledging that she wasn't Summer's biological daughter. She seemed to have a profound love for her as she cared for Yang as her own. And the more the merrier. Raven notes that Ruby's speech made her similar. Yeah, so Ruby's friendship speech made her similar to Summer, which totally confirms that she's like a Ruby clone, probably. Thoughts on that?
I'm not at all surprised on that kind of shit.
I hope that they pull a Boruto, at least with Boruto himself, and like actually make her a bit different than Ruby, so that they're not just like carbon copies of themselves whenever we do see flashbacks of her. It
would be nice, but I'm more than certain they're gonna fucking do the same.
Oh, what? Wanna?
Let's be realistic here. It's very clear from Rooster Teeth's history that she's not just judging on their history of character development and just story writing is general consistency here, that they're not good at writing a coherent story.
Yeah, it's not really their thing.
So, I mean, they're just going to make them carbon copies of each other more than likely, and I'm okay with that if they fucking do it well. That's been my main thing. If they do shit well, then it'll feel as natural as anything Rooster Teeth can do. But
so
at
here's
the same time, I would love for them to deviate from that stereotype. Like, the parent, great. Oh, the kid.
You and I can attest to the fact that we are nothing like our parents. Sometimes you sound like your dad. That's about it.
Yeah. Oh, David.
Oh, David.
I mean that's normal though. That's something you can't escape. Mm-hmm. And I have similar colored eyes to my parents. I have, similar hair. Shit like that, biological shit you can't change, but personality-wise, you don't have to be the same as your fucking parent.
Exactly. Okay, so, interesting. So I went down to, you know how on, character pages on, on Wiki, it's like a trivia section?
Yep.
You know that song that plays during the Red trailer?
Yep.
So apparently, okay, so it says, the discovery of her death by RWBY is told in the first set of the lyrics, Red Like Roses Part 2. Likewise, the second verse of the song is told from Summer's perspective, stating her regret for having left her daughter behind. Mm-hmm. The vocalists in the song are mother and daughter, with RWBY lyrics being sung by Casey Lee Williams and Summer lyrics being sung by her mother, Sandy Lee Casey.
Yep.
I did not know that. I need to go back and read those lyrics really carefully. That's interesting. Okay, so let's see, what else to mention? So we also had Yang break down and cry when she touched the relic, and at first I was confused. I thought that was a thing the relic was doing, or something she was feeling from the relic, but then I was like, oh no, it was just emotion she was holding in from the Raven encounter, I suppose.
Or even further detracting from anything, maybe the relic was projecting a scene from the future, because we don't really know what these relics do. That would be an interesting concept, this is what's going to happen if I take this relic kind of shit.
Are you talking fucking, was it Civil War, or what was it, what was the Avengers movie? No, was it Ultron, where Tony touched that thing and he saw the fucking Avengers dead in a pile?
Yep.
And Yang just saw Team RWBY dead in a fucking pile.
Yeah, that would be an interesting concept,
Yeah, I think it was more of that would be cool, but I'm pretty sure.
I'm more than certain it's more emotions that she was bottled up.
The emotion she was holding in, yeah.
Yeah, but also, that would be.
Let's talk a bit more, unless you had something to say about that.
That would be. I'm just trying to make it seem more cool here because.
Something you.
Hire me, Rooster Teeth. I can fix your series.
Oh gosh. One more thing I want to bring up to. One more thing I want to bring up about Yang as well is that Yang literally, it really did show how terrified of Salem Raven is in this episode, because Yang had only she offered twice or three, she only had to offer twice before Raven was like, well, okay, you take the relic, bye.
And then the feather dropping from the sky.
I like that scene because you could tell that Raven, because this is why I think that you're giving Raven not enough credit, as a character. You could tell that she really she's terrified. Let's be honest here. We know.
I get that she's terrified.
Can I finish? Oh, I'm sorry. I just want to make sure you didn't interrupt, otherwise I'll lose my train of thought. So she's really terrified, but she's trying to force herself to take this relic and kind of be the decoy to Salem, right? So I assumed her plan was take the relic, fucking teleport around the world with her fucking semblance as long as possible so that Salem doesn't get it, right? I assumed that was what she was gonna do. And I think, but again, she probably had to fight every single instinct she had to not just give in to Salem, because she's the kind of person who's just think early series Killua, just if you can't win, give up, right? That's the kind of person she is. Yeah. So she was fighting with that, and Yang came up and offered hey, let me take it. And she she gave into that immediately, almost immediately. Raven's like, all right, take it. But you can tell too she felt bad because like her giving her a way out like that. Like Yang gave her a way out, and that let her succumb to her fear. Yang came, offered an alternative, and Raven immediately was like, cool, okay, bye. You know, so like that was very
enjoy
layered.
your death kind of shit.
That seemed layered to me, right? Like it almost seemed like she had like a only I can do this, so I have to do it. And then when someone else offered, she was scot free, right? So that seemed like a really layered situation there, and like she's almost and like I gotta give them props if this is what they're going for. Do you remember the conversation she had with Leo?
Yeah,
because this just came to me. Her and Leo are very similar, except one's just less useless. You know, one's. But like personality wise, I think that what they're going for is that her and Leo are kind of similar.
Which I would respect that.
Well, that's what it seems like to me, because it was the same thing. Like she I don't know if you can tell this, she's letting her fear fucking control her, grip her, and fucking destroy her from the inside. Her fear is fucking controlling her every action, and that's why she's saying like you're not strong. Because you make these decisions that are so-called logical. Strong people go against what is the easiest thing to do, what's the most rational thing to do. Strong people do what's right and what has to be right. And I think that there was that one cool line from Leo where Leo kind of did like the mic drop to Raven. He was like, you know, like what are you hiding for? What did he say again? What are you hiding forever?
I don't remember his exact
line.
But
I just remember it was something along the lines of basically like she was trying to call him out on something.
And then he called her fucking ass out.
Yeah. And I think that's what they're going for. Like, she's eerily similar to Leo, just not as pathetic.
Yeah. And not dismembered in the bottom of whatever pit that Salem sucked him into.
I think that's the main thing I'm trying to say here is that, like, that whole scene, from how much I was just able to talk about it, I gotta admit, that if that's what they were going for, and it's not just me overthinking it so much that I'm retroactively correcting their writing. I'm thinking it's if they meant to do all that shit, that's actually very deep and layered.
If your description of it is what's actually happening, and it's not just a throwaway like we're so used to here, then it would make me respect Raven more. But still, I want more of what led Raven down this path before I can actually, you know, respect or hate her for the proper reasons. What it seems to me is, like I said, it just seems like they forced her into that role. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not the one writing the series. I'm not the one who's voicing or has any connection whatsoever to Raven. I'm the furthest thing from connected to her as a character. Feel free to roast me in the comments. I don't care. But she's just way too out there for me to give a shit about her. But
I think
Yang's whole scene where she's crying is just that where we left off. That really kind of made her more. I don't know exactly what I'm going. It's like it made me respect her more than I can any of the rest of the team of RWBY right now, because she actually showed more than the generic stereotype of a character here.
Well, I think because she had that like, are you? I think at one point Raven was like, "Are you scared?" And she's like, "Yes," and yet I'm still here.
Exactly. That is why Yang is slowly turning into the best character of Team RWBY here. She's bearing the burden of literally everything. While
I'm so sad that RWBY. I don't think RWBY had one good fight this entire volume.
Right.
Ugh, trash. My thing here's what I'm gonna say. Right. If you don't want to do a fight, Team RWBY, just don't set it up. Don't set up a fight if you don't want to do a fight. Okay, right. That's all I'm saying. If you don't want to do a fight, I wouldn't even be that annoyed if let's say the only fights, let's say the only fights we got this season were Yang Raiders, Blake Ilya, and the Maiden fight, right?
Right.
If you just gave us those fights and you didn't fake out set up all those other fights, I would have been absolutely fine.
right?
It's more just the lying to me. The constant lying of like, here comes a fight, just kidding. Here comes a fight, just kidding.
What, you mean when they pull a Bleach every other episode?
Yeah, do one clash per episode, make money.
Do one clash per chapter, make money.
That was the meme. But like, I'm just saying, man, like, they should really, like, if I was in charge of RWBY right now, and I know this is gonna sound like overbearing, but like, there'd be less amount of fights. Like, don't set up as many, right? But my rule would be, if you're gonna do a fight, it's gonna be a minimum of a minute long. Minute long. No cutting away.
Right?
Okay? That's all I ask. Just minute long at least. And before it's like, but so much work. Do less fights then. Give me like, okay, so like, here's what you should do in a volume, okay? You got like your 1 or 2 fights that are like the Raven Cinder, right? So let's say you have like 1 or 2 fights that are like 5 to 7 minutes, okay? So like, let's say, like this volume, I would have loved the Raven Cinder and the 3-on-3 would have been great. Hazel, Emerald, Mercury, and Blake, Ruby, Weiss. So many fucking names. That should have been a long one too. And then your minute long ones could have been the Yang Raider, Ilya Blake,
the fucking the Wasp versus Weiss.
Ugh, that one.
But I mean, it was one of the fights.
Yeah. I guess it's just, but like all the shit that you set up, don't set up shit if you like. Here's the thing: they set up this whole like, okay, there's gonna be an ambush where all of these powerful hunters are in a room. I guarantee you, if you cut together all of the action scenes, all of the actual scenes we see of people fighting, if you cut it together, it would be the most jarbled, unfollowable mess, and it would probably be less than 5 minutes. Everything from that room.
I kind of want to do that.
Part of me kind of wants to as well. That's just ugh. Come on.
So
focus on one thing, man. Like I hate it when manga do that as well. When they're constantly cutting between, like, finish a fight and then go to the next. Okay.
So
like even One Piece does this. It doesn't do it as badly. But it does do it too much for my liking. But even when One Piece does it, like let's think the Luffy Katakuri shit, right? When he shows Luffy Katakuri, it's a good at least half a chapter. It's not like 1 page and then going back to something else.
That's the equivalent of what this is. It's 1 page or 1 panel back.
That'd be like if you were reading a manga and it was like, here's your like 2 panels of this fight and then back to like these fuckers talking. Or if it was like 5 fights going on at once, and you got like 2 panels of that fight, 2 panels of that fight, 2 panels of that fight, but then you never got to continue. It was just, that's all you're getting for those fights. Ugh.
Exactly. It's annoying.
Shit. Yeah. Anything else we need to? Oh yeah. Okay. So I did. I actually wrote down some notes of things that I was worried I was gonna forget too. I liked Blake's line of because remember they let him leave, right? And she had a line, "Let him go. Now he can see what it feels like to run away."
Yes.
Which was, obviously a callback to Volume 3 when she had to run, and that was cool. That was a good line.
Yeah, that was beautifully, delivered and everything. My question is so we obviously know that Adam's without followers now.
Yeah, he's seemingly alone right now. I don't know. I wonder if they're going to the. Maybe he could get more. It would depend on if the story spreads that he abandoned his people there, right? But it probably. No. Maybe it could spread if news gets out. But then, see, like, part of me thinks maybe it could spread because of news. But then the other part is, like, I think they even said news actually can't spread very well right now because the towers are down.
Exactly. So here's my dilemma.
Yeah.
At the very end, when we saw Adam standing in the tree.
And he was watching Hazel
carrying Emerald and Mercury fleeing the school.
Yeah, maybe they'll...
And then it cuts away.
Right.
So is he going to join Salem?
Kind of already was.
Completely, like, go with them to Salem and be like, I need more followers.
Salem, like, directly under Salem, yeah. Probably. Honestly, probably.
Because it seems like that's what they're setting up.
Oh my gosh! If this was just their way to completely wipe out the White Fang and just so they could have just Adam, I'm pissed.
Yeah,
That's
having the
like
just
now.
Adam train is just fucking bullshit.
Well, that you know what it feels like though. That feels like it's too hard to write a complex organization like the White Fang, so we'll just wipe them out and have just Adam as our villain.
Well, we heard Jira say Callie, Cat Waifu say they need a new leader.
New leader, yeah.
So they're seemingly setting up Jira to be the new leader of the White Fang, and they kind of have their...
And actually make it, like, good again.
Yeah.
Like Martin Luther King, that shit.
Yeah, and they kind of have the new White Fang there and that resistance army that was fighting the White Fang at the school. So, I mean, they kind of set up a new White Fang, so are they going to actually revisit that, or is that going to be another throwaway plot thread?
Oh, gosh. Who knows? Oh man, like, yeah, it'd be nice to see the White Fang actually doing some good. You know who I want to see again? Like I keep thinking of these characters I love. Fucking give me more Oobleck.
Yeah, there's so many characters. I mean, at the end they also said to add during that scene, like, there's more hunters and huntresses on their way as well. Where the fuck were they?
There's so many characters. No, because remember in Volume 4 when Oobleck came back just to kind of, like, you know, visit Tai and Yang?
Right.
Mostly Tai. That was... I was like, yeah, Oobleck's, like, my favorite. I fucking love Oobleck. I love him so much. Just thinking of... do you remember when fucking characters had personality in RWBY?
Yeah, like Oobleck. The crazy fucker.
Oh, he's the best. Like, I'm trying to remember that scene where it was... Yes, it was like... it was like, no, they can travel for days without even being in the herd. And there's the whole herd.
And there's the whole herd.
And it's like, and now he's seen us. What? And now he's seen us.
Like,
oh, I miss him so badly. He was so funny.
And even going back to, like, Leo's farewell speech, basically. Like,
and now they've seen us. And now they've seen us.
Like, going back to Leo's farewell speech, his excuse is like, and then there's the students, and then the Silver Eyes, and then like,
well,
all
to
the
be
excuses.
fair, Leo, that Cinder kind of fucked that one up. Her greed to, like, see RWBY. That was the other thing too. She wanted to see RWBY so badly. Like, oh, I need my revenge on RWBY. That also fucking nowhere.
Exactly. Like, my revenge boner.
She never even... Did she even fight RWBY? Did she
even take a swing at RWBY?
The plot threads. They're everywhere. None of them are tied up.
Well, I mean... Well, we've been at this about an hour now.
I don't give a fuck. This is the finale. We'll end it when we want to end it.
I love that mentality here. Okay, so we also had this reveal that when they were trying to hand the artifact to Ozpin, he mentioned Atlas.
That's another one of the schools, right?
Yeah, that's where Weiss's family's from.
Oh, is that the one where they're
military?
Wait a minute. You know who's from Atlas, right? Neon!
Yes!
Jimmy, if we don't see Neon next volume, I'm fucking done. I'm kidding. Kind of. Halfway.
Like seriously though. Where the fuck was Mercury? Where like
I need my Mercury too. Dude.
I want the character that was voiced by Gavin for that one fucking episode.
How are you so cool?
Like, come on. Like,
literally, have you watched early RWBY lately? Like, really, when you watch it, it is like a different. Like,
it is incredibly different, and that's what depresses the hell out of me. Watching and doing these discussions has actually depressed me.
Well, because it's really character based, right? So it's like, even so, they didn't need plot. They didn't need like a crazy plot because it was like the characters were really, 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 really realistic and entertaining.
Exactly.
You know? So like
exactly.
my
Like,
thing with
uh,
okay, so we recently did a versus battle. We try to do versus battles on our channel. Recent one was of RWBY versus Suna. David, if you remember, maybe put a card up or just a link in the description.
I'll link it in the description. It's a lot easier than setting up the cards because I have the cards set to feature our latest videos.
Cool. So yeah, so we did a RWBY versus Suna, and I got that clip. The one fucking clip of her being like, "It's also a customizable. Blah, blah, blah. It's also a gun." Like just immediately, it's like that one sentence alone. She feels real. She feels like she has personality. She feels like why does she? She felt like a real person back then. I don't know. Maybe
Join us, Cinder.
Maybe it's rose tinted glasses, but like I got to be able to like kind of like take the nostalgia out, maybe. But like,
I mean, that's what you tell Thurman
like,
to do with Dragon Ball.
And that's why I'm mentioning it. I want to be 100% fair. That's why I'm asking you as well, David. Did they seem to be better characterized in the past?
They do seem like they had a better character. But at the same time, I kind of get the need to, like, deviate from that because... hear me out. Because now they have this entire cast and only, like, fucking 5 writers. It seems like when you look at the writers and the actual credits, it's a very short list. So maybe they overstepped when they fucking introduced all these characters. That might be why we didn't see a lot of characters as well. I don't know. Like I said, I don't write the show. I really don't. Although I would at least like...
I don't think anyone thought you wrote it.
Like, but at the same time, it's like there's so much that could be done for these characters. If they hired more writers, they could have people devoted to writing characters, devoted to writing, backstories for all these things that need to be explained. That's what the big issue is.
Get Oda to write a backstory. We'll all cry.
You're not wrong.
Don't you give me the silence. Oda's mastery is backstory. So
I said you're not wrong.
I know, but there was a long silence. I was concerned that you were...
I was putting my head on the desk, remembering Brooke's backstory.
Oh, yeah, I can't see you. Keep that in mind. Okay, so they did say Atlas, right?
Yeah, they mentioned Atlas.
Well, it was Oscar that was like, take it to Atlas or something?
Was it Oscar or was it Ozpin? I couldn't tell because he was so fatigued.
I think it was Oscar relaying a message from us.
That could be too.
But either way...
It's very confusing when there's 2 fucking characters in the same fucking character.
He seems to speak like a lot more fancy and like sophisticated when it's Ozpin.
Makes sense.
Okay, so I'm just looking at the Atlas Wikipedia page. The Schnee Dust Company is based there.
It's gonna be super awkward for fucking Weiss.
Hey, I'm back. Atlas Academy, blah blah. Okay, Atlas. Okay, so that's the one where their government and their school is like fused into one thing. Largest supplier of dust in the world. Let's see what else we got here. It's like icy, apparently.
Exactly.
It's ice. Okay. I just want to know what we're going to get, because obviously that's clearly what they're doing. Every season, it's like, now we're going to this school. Woo!
Here's the plot from now on. We're going to go from school to school collecting the relics, and then when we get the final relic, it's going to be, oh shit, we fucked up. Here's Salem, and she's wrecking shit. Fucking riding a dragon Grim.
It'll be relic, fucking, and then like, probably some final battle, and then from there, they'll decide, can we find a new plot line and stretch this into like a second chapter of RWBY or not? And you know they will, if it's still making money.
I mean, they've shifted from the traditional red versus blue plot line to further plot lines of different characters. So I mean, yeah, they're going to continue it. That's Rooster Teeth's game. But
I'm just reading the Atlas. Okay. You can. Anything else you want to say? Okay, technology. Let's see here. Oh my gosh. Okay, Atlas created the fucking towers. That came from Atlas. The towers.
Yep.
That
so was kind of discussed in, I believe, Volume 2.
Okay, so they have really good technology over there. So good technology. So they're like dust technology. They're the fucking like the shit with that. So
they're the Bill Gates of the world.
That could be interesting.
Here's what really, really annoyed me. Besides, besides the fucking Raven thing, but we've discussed that enough. Why did they set up, and just bear with me here, why did they set up Leo to be like this major character only to kill him off like a fucking bitch?
No, I agree. That's why I was shocked that he actually died, because it felt like
they set that up. They've set up this entire like White Fang rebirth kind of shit. They've set up like the entirety of like that entire siege of the school was resolved in 3 seconds.
Yeah, no, dude. The last 2 volumes have been endless cocked. That's all it is.
Like, they set up, like, even back to the Nuka Lobby, they set that up to be, like, this whole, like, world-ending being.
There, and that's a bad pattern. You don't want to go down that pattern fighting shit. You never want to be the fucking person
the crow being poison bit. There seems to be no ramifications for that whatsoever in this volume. Like, he's back at 100% capacity.
Yeah.
Like, you would think there would still be some lingering effects from that if it was a fucking scorpion's toxin.
Yeah, don't even get me started on the Nuka Lobby. That shit fucking defeated people for centuries and armies and blah, 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 and then 4 children.
And the major response from the community is like, but it was so badly weakened. Bullshit, it's been weakened for centuries. It has fucking weapons that are rusted in it. Don't give me that fucking bullshit. It was beat by fucking 4 students.
So you're telling me your reasoning for them? Yeah, it's like your reasoning for them is that the all the warriors of the past metaphorically loosened the pickle jar for them.
Exactly. Like, that one annoyed the hell out of me last volume, and the live reaction in Planet Unity pretty much summed that up.
It was a good fight.
It was a good fight.
I didn't expect them for a second to win. I legitimately thought they would fight for a bit and then be like, we can't beat this thing, bail.
We can't win this, we're bailing. Or Rin sacrificing himself, you know.
Yeah, just a pro tip, writer, there's never shame in a hero bailing from a fight. That is not shameful. Live to fight another day.
The hero doesn't always have to win.
If your friend is about to die and you bail then, that's a bit different. But if it's like we can't win right now, we can all escape. Yeah.
Here is the code from like My Hero Academia. There's no shame in losing kind of shit.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so Atlas also made those fucking robots too?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what if we fucking meet Penny's creator? What if we meet Penny's creator?
He's just crying in there,
drinking
from a flask.
I legitimately want that. We've seen Penny's creator. He looks like fucking He looks like Dr. Light from Mega Man. Yeah. Legitimate. He's got the same ass beard. But like, hold on. I'm going to send you a picture of Dr. Light and a picture of Penny's creator. And I want you to live edit them up.
Okay.
Okay, hold on.
Dr. Light. I picture Mr. Father of fucking Penny's sitting there drinking from a flask. It's literally
he has to be He has to be based off of Dr. Light. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm going to save this. Okay, and then Penny Creator RWBY. I'm combat ready. I miss her. I miss her so much.
But anyway, like, continuing on the loose plot threads we have here, we also have the fact that we saw Adam's descent into madness and then him fleeing like a child. Like, if you're going to go full psycho, go full psycho.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm PMing this to you on Facebook.
Okay, I got Messenger up.
So here's the one shot we saw of Penny's creator, and there's Dr. Light from Mega Man. The only difference is Penny's creator's bald. Other than that, same fucking guy. I'm assuming you're working on getting those up live edited.
Yeah, I'm saving the pictures.
While he's doing that, so here's legitimately, that would be actually amazing. That would get me hyped if we met Penny's creator, because, hint, hint, Penny's basically my favorite character. It was Ruby for a while, not anymore. She's fallen.
There's
really
Dr. Light. And I'm
Penny,
going to drag him over here.
Official 3, it's happened. Penny's my favorite character.
Well, your other one's dead, and then, well, technically...
Penny never strayed me wrong. Penny never started to suck like Ruby did.
Okay, so there's Penny's creator, assumed creator, and then here's Dr. Light. 3, 2, 1, dropping edits.
They might have based him off of them. Like, he looks really familiar, and that would make sense. You know, Dr. Light and robots.
Exactly.
And they're video game fans there, so that. But yeah.
So I want to see, since they're going back to Atlas, assumedly in Volume 6 this fall, when we'll resume these discussions. If they're going back to Atlas, I want some ramifications for Weiss escaping and stealing a shit ton of cash.
Does she still cash? I forgot about that.
Yeah, well, how else should she pay the fucking the pilot that died? And
died? Oh yeah, he probably actually died, didn't he?
Exactly. But the suitcase that she had was assumedly money, we don't know. And then the one line from the pilot, "Your cash is all I need," kind of shit. So that made me assume that...
Yeah, but she must have then, yeah.
Yeah, so I want some ramifications for that. I want, you know...
Maybe we'll meet up with Winter again.
I want Whitley to get disemboweled.
Oh, fucking Whitley. Such an asshole.
Fuck Whitley.
Probably, by the time they go back there, since the She Does Company's there, he's probably gonna fucking, like, own a big chunk or all of it. Like, maybe the father's like, I'm too stressed, I'm retired.
I'm too stressed, I'm gonna sit in my study and drink whiskey.
I'm gonna be Dave. To be honest here, you'd do it too.
You're goddamn right I would. If I had a conniving child that's as evil as I am, I'd just pass the company on to him, and I'd sit in my study and become a
Hold on, let me just check to make sure you're as evil as I am.
Fuck over your sister.
Yeah.
The challenge is whoever fucks over the other one first.
That motherfucker was literally like Weiss would be like, literally, like, remember when Weiss was like suspicious, like, you're acting weird. He's like, but whatever could you mean, dearest sister? Like, he's like, what are you fucking doing?
Exactly.
Oh, Volume 4. I don't know how to
out of every character, you know, as much as I hate Whitley, I hate him for the right reasons. He's supposed to be hated. He's a piece of shit. He's
good. Pretty good.
That character feels real.
I think Raven feels real too, though.
Yeah.
They feel equally real to me, I think. But you're right, yeah. Back to Atlas.
Like, yeah, I want Ironwood drunk and depressed.
Oh my gosh, right? Like, they made... Someone made, like, a passing comment about Ironwood being, like, weird now. I legitimately think that Ironwood had, like, that realization, like, oh, I fucked up.
Yeah, I am a colossal fuck up for bringing the robots here. I didn't think they could be hacked.
Right. Lesson number 1. Hacked.
Like, hackerman.jpg up there.
If they connect your fucking toothbrush to Wi-Fi, they'll fucking hack it to kill you in your sleep.
Right? Like, somebody made, since we were making jokes about the sex robots, they've made jokes about them being programmable to kill the spouse, and then there was another joke like, how's that any different from my current spouse?
Okay. Here's notable people from Atlas. Ironwood's from Atlas. Winter from Atlas. All of the fucking Schnees. Penny was from Atlas.
Penny's technically still from Atlas. I'm assuming they have her AI programmed somewhere.
Dude, that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for a new Penny. My theory with Penny, just to re-say it, I've said it in one of these videos, but just to reiterate, Penny, my theory is, and this would be perfect because it would be consequence while still being able to have her kind of back. I think that Penny is going to come back. There are two options that they can do. Either A, they'll recreate Penny, but she won't have the memories of Ruby, and she'll be reprogrammed to. She either will or will not have memories, but I think it'd be better if she did. Okay, so here's what I like, right? Here's the one I like. He comes back more of an adult form, right? Not a child. Because there's really, the only reason she was a child to begin with was to blend in with students, test it. If they're gonna, at this point, if it's like, well, that shit's blown, let's just make one that's like for fighting and war, they're gonna make it into an adult form. Doesn't that make sense to me, right?
Yeah. What I'm assuming they'll actually do is, since Winter's been, kind of teased as like the best warrior they have, I think they'll build them similar to her fighting style. Her figure probably. Like exactly.
I'm thinking like adult woman figure, which cue fucking Ruby nosebleed, guarantee it. But what's gonna happen? I think is she's gonna come back much more mature, right? Not not Penny at all. It's like really mature Penny, and think how tragic it would be, right? Ruby, I would love this. Ruby assumes, like, maybe for a couple episodes, oh, she must not remember me. Talks to her. She's like, oh, no, I remember you. But there's really no need for friendship any longer. Like, oh, that'd be fucking good. Like, I just want her to be programmed to be like, because the only reason, this is the dark part, right? Think about this. The only reason she ever made friends is because she was programmed to fit in, blend in with the kids.
Exactly.
If that's not necessary, I could see her being like, oh, like imagine this twist, right? Like, oh no, they saved everything. They were able to save my hard drive and everything. I have all my memories. I just don't feel anything for you any longer. Like, and she just says it all cold like that because she's a robot. How fucking heartbreaking would that be? Yes, right. Yeah, I want that.
That would be like the most heartbreaking thing to Ruby, and that would be ingenious, really.
Amazing.
That would be good writing. Do you think we'll get that out of Rooster Teeth?
I don't know, but like that's actually one of the proudest ideas I've ever had. I'm proud of that. Like, I'd be proud to fucking put that forth.
Yeah, that would actually be perfect, and that's why when we do the abridged, I want you and Chris in charge of writing it.
We're not. Oh, okay. I thought you meant a RWBY abridged. I was like,
oh hell no, there's a million of those already. We missed the virality of that shit by years.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you trust my writing ability.
We're working on this Promised Neverland abridged.
We're writing it right now because it's
inevitably there will be an anime because of the popularity of the series.
I'm working on catching up.
Yeah, I actually am caught up.
Well, but I'm gonna be caught up by the time, basically, because that's gonna become another one of our discussions. To fill in this, starting next week, we will be doing. David and I will certainly be doing Promised Neverland discussion. That sound good to you, David?
Fucking A, bringing that back.
Promised Neverland discussion. Yeah, dude, that's some OG shit. Maybe if we can somehow maybe get Chris to not be busy all the time, we'll try to get Chris in on that
and not be emo like he was last night in the chat.
Did you? I actually PM'd him, and he was just like, just let me be empty for a while. And I was like, okay, you do that.
Okay, Sasuke.
Yeah, he gets Sasuke sometimes. I was like, he needed his space, so I was like, I'll give him the space.
I just chose not to PM him because I knew that would be the response.
Yeah.
He's going
Chris,
through some
we
shit.
Love you.
He's going through some shit.
That's why I'm trying to. I don't know why I'm talking about this on the video. Either way, we're open with you, audience.
Exactly.
We'll divulge all of our horrible, crippled impression to you.
But yeah, but we want him to be Ray.
Oh, he's gonna be Ray. Well, I already talked to our artist Utena about being Emma. She seems interested. She didn't say yes or no, but she was interested. So that's a maybe. And then I'm sure I'd be someone. I'm not sure who.
I could be Norman because I'm monotone.
I'm not sure how long. I still need to discuss that monotone idea with him because, like, the monotone thing, that joke would get old. I gotta be honest. Like, so I want to make sure I'll be talking to him about like what we're gonna be doing with Norman. But either way, this is not RWBY-ish. So let's end off. this is the last.
Okay, so here's what more predictions. I want to, like I said,
before you say this, I want to clarify by saying thank you everyone who's actually watched all these RWBY talks. This is obviously the last one
until fall.
Fucking, oh gosh, yeah, it's not even that long. Time gets faster and faster as I get old. I'm gonna be dead. I'm gonna blink and be dead. Gross. Yep. I was about to say till next year, and I was like, oh, it's fall of new Doctor
It's only
Who.
like 6 months.
It's weird.
Right? That's been the biggest fucking, mind fuck as becoming an adult. When you're in like high school and shit, it seems like everything drags on. Once you become an adult and get a real life and jobs and fucking content creating and being a college student, you realize once you get that semester style bullshit, you realize how fucking short a year really is.
I hate it.
I hate it too, but it kind of makes sense because, as a child, you observe your parents always stressing, like, what are we going to do next year? How are we going to do anything? How are we going to make time for all these plans? And you're like, what the fuck are you talking about as a kid? But once you're an adult, it's just like, what the fuck? They were right. My life was a lie.
I'm not sure if this is like, so I was talking to my friend Andy, because Andy is always telling me that, like, Andy, you met him at the con. He's always talking about how, like, he still has that mentality of, like whenever, like, something's, like, only a couple months away, he's like, it's forever. And I'm like, dude, I never have that issue anymore because time goes so fast. Like, that's why I don't get mad about cliffhangers, because I fucking, like, I blink and it's like, oh, it's Saturday again, new RWBY. You know what I mean?
Yeah, here's my issue with cliffhangers. And this is
if they fuck you on them, then yes, that's if it's
that one there, RWBY specifically.
This finale was a very, very strong 6.5 out of 10.
Maybe but 7. Here was my issue with cliffhangers. The latest chapter, Promised Neverland. And I'm going to disclose here. Always support the official release.
Dude, we both bought the first volume.
Exactly. And I already have the second volume. The minute it's available for pre-order, it's going in my fucking pre-orders. But here's my issue, right? So I've been checking Manga Rock because Chapter 71's been out in Japan for like a fucking week almost, right? I've been checking.
That'll happen. You're getting it illegally.
But here's the big kicker. It's not only Promised Neverland, it's My Hero Academia. It's fucking, as much I hate it, Black Clover.
Did the scanners get like trouble? Occasionally they have, like, you know how, like, in Breaking Bad you see like fucking drug busts where like cops go in and like fucking like stop meth labs? In Japan they like straight up have like scanlation busts. Yeah. They're like, put down the manga, you piece of shit.
Yeah, exactly. So Manga Stream actually came out with a post today, like, yeah, we haven't got any of the jump shit in. So, apologies, we're working as fast as we can on the raws we do have. I'm like, fuck.
Well, yeah, there have been times where they literally are like, yeah, our scanner went dark, and it's like, oh gosh,
our scanner went dark. He's dead in an alley somewhere.
Did they fucking get, like, shot in the back of the head by the Japanese?
So the Yakuza come in and just like, put down the manga, you piece of shit.
I like to imagine like a Yakuza like assassin shot. It's just like, but it's like a silencer, like, oh,
like,
it's like, no, wait. It's like,
exactly.
Like, always support the official release, you fuck.
Exactly, right? So I've been sitting here with this massive cliffhanger from Chapter 70 of Promised Neverland. What the fuck? Are we going to see Minerva? Are we going? No. The key. The fuck. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, so yeah. I'm just sitting there like, I want this now. So I actually went on Reddit, and that's the mentality of everybody right now. And somebody actually put
the last chapter I actually saw at Promised Neverland was they were in the forest. I remember in the forest they did that thing where like the pen kind of like had like a hologram thing going on.
Exactly. Well, there's more to the pen than meets the eye.
Well, yeah, I remember that. Well, I remember, was it Carone that left them that pen? It was, right? Yeah, because Carone Carone saw like a random ass lab guy drop it.
Exactly. Right. It's so fucking weird.
So I'm excited to see where that. Yeah, I'm gonna be tonight. I'm gonna be half and half. Like, I actually finally got all my homework done, so I'm gonna be like probably editing.
You want to do mine?
No, fuck you. I'll be editing a bit, and then maybe catching up on Promised Neverland.
Dude,
but I guess
I legitimately want your thoughts
too.
on the rest of the Forest arc, because the characters that are introduced there are so fucking unique. Like, one seems, it's not really spoiling anything, one seems to be like a kind of a Deadpool-esque character.
Okay. Well, here, let's
but
put
anyway,
a cap on that for now, since we're still on a RWBY talk, because there's one more RWBY thing I want to talk about. If you fucking made it past all that off-topic bullshit, I apologize. There's one last thing I wanted to mention, which was once again confirming, like, very, very much, they were pushing Black Sun real hard. Is it Black Sun?
I believe so.
I don't know. They were pushing that, and I was like, I'm a Blake and Sun chipper. I always have been. So I know that you can laugh. She was legitimately blushing while looking at her. I'm like, oh, they want to fuck.
I'm sure they've already. Giggity.
You're right. 4 girls in the same dorm. Yeah.
It happens.
Honestly, almost every woman I've talked to had a fucking lesbian phase, at least. So I'm like, that's just a thing they do. It's not like guys don't just like go over and like jerk each other off with the same dorm room usually, but apparently women are just like, hey, you want to finger each other today?
Last episode it was me triggering people. This episode is you triggering people.
I just want to know.
It kind of is. Judging by all the female friends I've had from college, they all went through that little phase. I'm like, okay, cool. I kind of confirms it.
Many women I have talked to tell me that they just have that fucking like, because it's like there's this stigma with guys, right? Like, oh, I ain't gay, bro. I ain't gay. And like they don't want to like touch. They don't want to fucking like, you know what I mean? Like that. That's like the stigma with guys. Girls are like more open to that, and then like the sexual tension might hit like during puberty time, and that's where they kind of are.
Yeah. Roast us if you want. It's a legitimate fact that a lot of.
There's a fanfic I just read yesterday that I should send you, and I don't give a fuck. Where there's a fanfic I read yesterday where literally it was like, okay, I have these vibrators, and we're gonna all have them in our panties, and the first person to come loses.
Oh my fucking god!
And like they're like going to class and shit with like that kind of thing. Like they're like all in class with like these vibrators, and they're like looking at each other, seeing who's gonna come first.
Oh my fucking god.
Yeah. There's so many fucking fanfics of like all the there's like a million fanfics of all the RWBY girls doing like kinky shit in their dorm and their classes, and I'm like
Yep.
Yas!
Yas! The thirstiest fandom in the world.
It really is. It's go on pro tip, everyone, go on the RWBY Reddit. It is the thirst. The thirst is unquenchable. The thirst could create a new desert on that fucking Reddit. Am I wrong? It's quite thirst.
I can't.
Are you okay? Are you good, buddy?
Yeah, it's so fucking true though.
Like, and it's probably because of the fact that like predominantly the main character, like it's like what, like 75% of the cast are women.
Exactly.
And, I bet you if you were to look at the statistics of people who watch it, I bet you 75% of the viewers are men. So you take that statistic, so many women in a show, probably most people are watching it are men. The thirst just commences. Exactly.
It as sad as it is, it's a very, very true
Pretty
fact.
sad. Which is why I'm glad that they've always been real good. Even in their shittier writing, they've always been really good at writing like women. Like they don't, because like a lot of times, sometimes a shittier writer, you'll see them write a woman, and their one character trait will be that they're a woman. You know what I mean? Like they don't write them as a person. That's just like, this is the woman character. Like I think they're really good at like writing characters like real people, and I always put that on.
And then you have Oda, who illustrates women as either
Oda draws women badly, but their characters are good.
Their characters are good, but the drawing alone is kind of disgusting.
He said in an SBS, you can at least appreciate him for he owns up to it. He straight up owns up to it. Like someone asked him why, and he was just like, "I draw women the way men want women." And I'm like, "God damn, Oda, that's fucked up." You gonna get flapped by everyone in America. In Japan, I guess they don't give a fuck. I don't know how it works.
Right?
It was like something about like the way men dream of women, or the way it's like, what the fuck? He's straight up just admitting like probably.
Exactly. That's why I respect Oda. But anyway, finale shit. And predictions.
So this is the last RWBY talk for six-ish months. So I guess this is our last predictions we're going forward in the series. Go ahead.
Okay, so predictions. I'm assuming that there's going to be some ramifications. I'm hoping there's going to be some ramifications for why stealing all that money if we get to Atlas, like, in this volume. I mean, it might take 2 volumes. We don't know. But if there is, there's going to have to be... If they were going to write it right, because the last anybody really knew of Weiss is, like, she's locked in her room, and kind of shit.
Uh-huh.
So we're going to hopefully have some ramifications for her escaping and going back to her friends and all that shit, because
David, can you live edit this up? So he drew a chart of how he draws women. It's literally, look at this. This man is a troll. This is the SBS.
Oh dear God!
It's like it's just an X and 3 circles, 1 for the head and 2 for the boobs.
Oh my good fucking
I just want you to
lord!
live edit that so people know I'm not bullshitting. That's all I ask.
Okay, here you go. Here's the SBS of again.
It's all Japanese. I just want you to. He drew a chart as to like how he draws women. He literally owns up to it. He's like, yeah, I just draw an X and 2 circles for the boobs. It's like, gosh, Oda, what is wrong with you?
As fucked up as that is, it's funny that he's that
because this
trolling.
picture was someone, I've actually read the translation of that. Like, it was someone calling him out for it. It was like, Oda, the fuck, man. And he's just like, yeah, I know what I like, man. I know what I like.
I like big boobs, and I like a skinny hourglass frame.
The point of malnourished.
God damn it. Anyway.
But yeah, I've already said my prediction is mainly what I want to see is them meeting Penny's creator and hopefully a new Penny who is now programmed to not care about friendship. I would love the dynamics that we'd see from that. What else? I'd love to see Neo again. Or not Neo. Well, yes, actually, I would love to see Neo again.
Ice cream waifu. Ice cream waifu.
Yeah. But I would also love to see Neon again.
Neon!
Like
just as she's coming on the screen, that track playing.
Neon could see the fact that Yang doesn't have an arm anymore, and she's like, "You're no longer top heavy."
What'd you say?
Randomly, it pisses me off when you say it. Yeah. So, I'd like to see Neon. I want to. Neon was interesting. Also, Flint Cole was fun too. Because remember, Flint Cole actually like dissed Weiss about like the Schnee Dust Company shit. So, because remember, like he's from Atlas, which is where the Dust Company is, and he said that like it put his dad's store out of business or something.
Yeah.
So that'd be interesting if we got dynamics of that. I just want them to use the characters they've created.
Yeah.
If we can, I don't know if it'd be possible, but I do. I have remembered how much I fucking love Oobleck, and I hope we get more Oobleck.
Here's what I want to see. I want to see them revisit some of the characters they've created in general. Like, let's be realistic here. It's been hyper focused on Black Sun and Ranger. That's all we've really seen aside from characters they are just introducing.
Yeah, very much.
And then Blake's parents for that one fucking extra long arc that almost took basically 2 volumes to wrap up. That was glorified filler, but it also had some purpose, for character development for Blake, coming to terms with the whole leaving the family and leaving the White Fang kind of shit. That made sense that they wanted to wrap that up. So they can wrap up previous shit, but yet they leave so much more previous shit. It's kind of hypocritical. So I want to see them revisit, all the Atlas characters. I want to see, at some point them meet up with... Because we really don't know where any of the characters went that were on break from... Because that was a convenient plot hole they gave themselves. Like, oh yeah, we sent the students away, we're on break right now. I want to see them revisit those characters, potentially as they're, like, leaving you know,
Mercury.
just like him, like, hey, Weiss.
Like, bro, like, why isn't Sun should like want to team up? Like I'm assuming Sun cares about his team similar to how Ruby cares about her team. You know,
exactly. Like, here's
Sun
another thing
should
that
be like,
really.
oh, I want to make sure Mercury and then everyone else is okay.
Yeah, well, I don't think that Sun knew about the whole Huntsman being killed thing either, and I'm assuming that's just the Rogue Huntsman because of Crow's affiliation. But we don't really know if that's just Crow's friends or if that's everybody in fucking like Haven. It's just like, what the fuck?
I assume it's people that are known for fighting against Salem, right? So like there's probably a certain chunk of Huntsmen that work with Ozpin, and I think Salem was probably just going around fucking sending people to kill them. Or maybe she's just that petty and like,
Huntsman, die.
No, but I like the idea of just like, Crow seems pretty depressed. Let's kill all his friends.
Yeah, see that's. I want, if nothing else, that we get out of this. I want like a fucking flashback of like why Emerald gave enough of a fuck about Cinder to actually be depressed. At the sight of like Yang fucking raising up with the relic and Cinder not following behind.
Mm-hmm. I want. So we that's a big thing too, right? They should take a big chunk of the next volume for flashbacks and backstory.
Yeah, I don't care if you make the volume 20 fucking episodes, 30 fucking episodes. Just give us some backstory on all these characters that you've not only just introduced, but ones that you've had, like, fucking since the beginning of the show, really. Because, Salem's been there since the beginning, because she was the one giving the opening speed, okay. It's like, I want to know why I should fucking care about her as a villain.
Yeah, so that I would love it if, like, literally, like, half the volume, make it fucking, like flashback us. Remember that one episode where it was just like, here's your barrage of flashbacks. Give us, like, a half a volume now. I would love that.
That would, would make me care more about the characters.
Yep. Fun fact, Ilya is actually from Atlas. So maybe she'll find some people she knows there. Arthur Watts. Oh, and Watts is from Atlas too. So Watts is going to be a big deal next volume, probably.
Hopefully.
All right. Well,
if by that
thank you for watching RWBY Talk. So I think that's about it. Yeah. Sorry about all the off-topic shit. I hope it was entertaining to you.
All right.
Anything else, David?
Well, I was just saying if Sabat's not too busy doing Dragon Ball Super dubbing.
Well, it's ending now, so that's only for
they're ending the
Oh, I know. I was saying that, like, that means that'll end, though, eventually, is what I'm saying. It's not like it's going to go on forever.
Okay, but anyway, thanks for tuning in. See you in about 6 months for this.
Well, and stick around. I mean, we'll have discussions of other shit as well.
Exactly. And, if you like this format, we're going to be doing, like, Promised Neverland, My Hero Academia discussions. Maybe we'll get Thurman to do a Black Clover discussion. We're planning, like, a series of these kind of formatted videos. So, yeah.
Peace.
Peace.